Hi, morning.
How are you?
Okay. How are you?
Just okay?
I'm good.
How's your weekend? Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Dan, and our friend's name is. How do you pronounce your name? Aylin?
It's Eileen. Yes.
I'm sorry. I needed
It's
that.
okay.
That's perfect. Oh, good. Okay. Eileen, I have to tell you something funny.
What is it?
Maybe I'll just go and show you. Here, I'll be right back. I have a shirt that looks just like yours, and so when I wear it, I'm like, I look like Eileen. Be right back.
Morning, Miss Robin.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, real good. Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Much better now.
Well, good. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend. I cleaned the pool. I washed both my dogs. I don't know if you've ever tried to give a Husky Wolf hybrid a bath, but there's a lot of
Sounds
blood.
like, yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like mud wrestling an alligator.
Yeah, it was real close. Actually, my lab, for some reason, as soon as I brought up the hose, he just sat down like he knew what was coming. He was all about bath time. The McBrooms, big and little. Hello, good morning. It's
Good
Miss
morning.
Mara. What shirt are you wearing? Because that is fantastic. You need to stand up. Oh, that's
Hi,
amazing.
hi. Woohoo.
Don't worry, I
I
won't go
like
through
that,
my
Mara.
but it's my morning workout shirt.
We love it. Good stuff. I wish I could find it. I'm sure I can. I gotta look harder. Is a dress shirt that I could wear that would be that exact same print or similar. I would totally wear that too. Well,
Hey,
happy-
speaking of shirts, Big Dan and Eileen, I put on my shirt. I look just like Eileen.
It's the Eileen shirt. I love it.
Nice.
Good morning, Ezra.
Hey, good morning.
Well, how was everyone's weekend? Any fun, exciting news? What can we talk about? What can we discuss? What greatness can I bestow upon you? Good
So
morning.
I've got a listing that's under contract currently for a 1031 exchange, and the contract on their property that they're exchanging fell out of contract.
Okay.
So we've got the domino effect. Yay!
How fast can we get that one back under contract?
So the agent that I'm working with is a new agent because
Why not?
he was like, so do you want me to do up an addendum extending closing, or like, what do we do now? And I was like, okay, how about we do this? Why don't we wait? You said that you're expecting another contract on it this weekend. Let's wait and see and touch base on Monday and see what happens, because I'd like to keep the deal together. I'm sure your clients would like to keep the deal together too. So let's just see where we're going with this. And at that point, we'll talk on Monday. I'll see what my seller has to say, because they really don't want to close after November 1st. He's like, no, I understand. So we're together as of this point, but we're going to circle back today.
Good. I love it that you got even a new agent being able to coach them through the deal.
I did tell him, I said, you know, I am a new agent coach. I said, so if you don't have anybody like that, and if I'm going to give you some feedback as to things that I'm seeing that maybe you could do in a different way that might have a better outcome, would that be okay with you? And he said, yeah, that would be great. I would really appreciate it. So that was cool.
And then all you got to say is you want the good news or the bad news?
What's
Good
bad
news
news?
is I'll help you through this. Bad news is you got to join my company.
Ooh, I like that. Authorize here.
It's because Gary Keller said it, and he even said it in Mega Camp on the leadership side. He goes, "The good news is I'm willing to help. The bad news is you got to join my company, because I'm more apt to help those I work with than those that are just calling in, because my agents come first. They're more important to me than agents outside my company." Now that's a bold stance to have. I'm not throwing shade on you, Sherry. I promise. That balloon does enough. But I want you guys to know that, if you got agents you're working out there that you think would really benefit from what's around you at Keller Williams, that's a great conversation to have. Do you need some guidance? Do you need some help? I know someone who can help you. And then send me the contact information. I love building downlines. I love helping y'all out. So one thing that I had this weekend that was very interesting is I got a text at 11 o'clock on Friday night, and I can assure you I was not awake. So I got it in the morning, and it says, "We have a problem. Call me." Okay. It's the listing agent. It's the buyer's agent on one of my listings. And she said, well, because we were supposed to close 3 days ago. They didn't have the appraisal done, so we're just kind of delayed. Now we're switching lenders because they need, the Bank of America doesn't have the grants that they're using to get these people their closing cost assistance. So now they're switching lenders on me at Nova. I was like, great. Well, what can I do to help? And she's like, well, you think your sellers would be willing to, pay closing costs if we increase the sales price? Where do you think I went with it?
If it appraises.
Okay, next. If it appraises, that's definitely a mindset. Well, now we know that we no longer have a grant for closing costs and they have to switch lenders anyways. Where would you take it?
Keller Mortgage.
Thank you, Maura. Anyone else thinking Keller Mortgage? Raise your hand. Do you understand why I would have chose Keller Mortgage?
Less cost, origination fees and everything.
Closing costs.
No origination fees, no lender fees, $1,000 towards closing costs, typically saving $3,000 to $4,000. So that's an opportunity right there to save a deal. On the bad side is their credit came in south of 640, which is the threshold for Keller's deals right now. So at least we tried. We gave it a shot, gave it a swing. But that's one. I want you guys to always think that way in those situations. As soon as they're like, well, we need closing cost assistance, and I want you to change, because that's a pivot point anyways. And then the other agent was all, wait, really? You guys can do that? I was like, yeah, it's only available to Keller Williams agents or agents that are working with a Keller Williams agent. So present it to your buyers. Hopefully they're open to it, and we'll see what we can do to help them out. So, good morning, Ms. Erickson.
So is there a specific contact for us to send for Keller Mortgage, or do we just give
Good
them?
morning.
You can use just the app, Miss Cindy. I personally have a contact. His name's Craig Davis. He's out of Ohio. He's just the one I've done a bunch of deals with, so I just send him an email directly.
Mhm.
Or you can use the app, just have them download the app and do an application right there on the mobile app.
You mean our regular KW app?
Yes, ma'am.
I've done both, but I have had some people say they've had some issues on the app, so then I turn around and give them his direct number. So, but I like Craig too. He's a hard worker, good guy.
Again, please.
Can you put that in the chat?
Craig Davis. Let me find it.
Oh,
Dan, I'd like to ask about, I mentioned to you that property that's not financeable. It's only cash or a hard loan. So I did call that listing agent, and it's because of inspection issues. And he sent me the last inspection that they had that was in May. And so there's like a $6,500 estimate on the roof and $2,300 electrical repair estimate. And then, all the items, the gas wasn't on, so they don't know if the heat and hot water heater works and things like that. So why is it just now this is an investor property only and they're just not willing to fix those things?
They may not be. The thing is even a conventional loan will look past everything but the heat. As long as the heater turns on, the conventional loan will work. Thank you, Ms. Erickson.
So I guess I don't understand why they wouldn't repair it enough so that it could be financed.
It could just be a personal choice on the owner, who is also an agent looking at the investment side of it. He's trying to pick up, because it's well below market. So why wouldn't he try to pick up a cash buyer that's going to do a bunch of work to it anyway? So, know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah.
Unfortunately, that just happens to be where we don't understand their thought processes.
I have a question, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a weird situation. I had been in contact with a guy, and he said he had his home all paid off. He's a vet, and he's looking at maybe using it as an investment, renting it out and buying another one and using, his VA loan since his home's paid off. Sound like a very reasonable person, level-headed. I thought that was a good idea. He had me put him on the MLS. He's been searching homes. Anyway, I called him yesterday because, I wanted to make sure I had the correct spelling on him and his wife's name to get the buyer-broker agreement over to him and stuff, because he wanted to proceed and start looking at some of the homes he's been looking at. His wife answers, starts laughing, and said, "Oh, my Lord, no, he's 74, don't know what he's talking about. Thank you anyway." Click. How would y'all handle that?
I would talk to him again and find out what that was about.
It was really strange. And well, before she clicked, I was able to say, just a minute. I've been having several conversations with him, and this is what he explained to me he wanted. And again, oh heavens no. He doesn't know anything what he's talking about. And I'm thinking, okay, but yeah, maybe I can try to reach him, but she answered his phone. So
yeah, I keep trying to call him, because I don't care if someone says that another person's incapable. You have to make that decision. You can't talk to a different party.
Yeah, it was just really strange. And I did verify. I said, "Is this Virginia, his wife?" "Yes." I'm like, okay.
Next time you go to verify somebody, just ask, "And who's this?" Don't give them the name.
Yeah, that probably would have been the better thing to do. So, yeah.
I could have been on the phone and been like, "Is this Virginia's wife?" "Yes."
Yeah. Yeah.
I make it silly because it sticks.
All right.
When you call somebody on a blind call, like, just imagine it's them, and ring, ring, "Hey, Robin." Not, "Hey, is this Robin?" Because they instantly know it's a sales call. But if you say, "Hey, Robin," you catch them off guard. They're like, "Hey." But when you're verifying somebody's name, "And who's this?"
Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate that information. May I ask who I'm speaking with?
Yeah, it was a little unsettling, especially because I've talked to him 3 times.
Right.
If he's getting your MLS report, are you maybe able to reach him via email as well? Maybe not putting anything too controversial in an email, but trying to reach him that way too.
Subject line, "Call me, please."
Yeah.
"Hey, weird situation. I need you to give me a call."
Yeah. Could have been his housekeeper, not wanting to lose a job. I don't know. It's just really strange. Didn't know if anybody else had that issue.
Yeah, we want to look at the...
Of course, I'm always, the first one, it seems like, to get hit by weird stuff.
It's okay. I love it because, like I said, the weird things make your business grow so much faster.
Mm. But I did put an offer in for my investors, and that's the
Woo!
other weird thing. These property managers, a property manager is the one who is the listing agent. They kind of shut off at 5 p.m. on Friday and don't answer their phones or anything the whole weekend. So I sent texts, emails, phone calls, voicemails. Finally, one of them answered yesterday morning and said, "Oh, thanks. We'll check, make sure we got the email." Never heard anything back. So I'm going to be, again, text, email, voicemails.
Multiple lines of
Their
communication.
party till noon today. I don't even think they've gave it to their party. I don't even think they've presented it to the sellers. Turned it in Saturday.
Anyone else have some weird things going on? I love it. I love the weirdness because it just makes you shake your head and go, this business.
Anybody else have problems with property managers? I'm just.
Raise my hand any higher? I mean, just put it up there as high as I can.
I've tried to show homes too. They don't answer their phone.
I even had a conversation along those lines this morning or last night with a potential lead. And I said, unlike us retail folks, those property managers don't work weekends. Her response, that's bullshit. You're right. It is. You're absolutely right. Then again, sometimes I don't work weekends. That's a lie. I always work weekends. But no, good stuff. It's all, you know, putting it in perspective, keep soldiering on. You will. I find that Sundays be the busiest day in real estate for some reason. I don't know what it is about the Lord's Day that everyone wants to go out there and look at houses. And then everything falls apart for some reason. So.
Mary Benson and I, we had an offer in on a property and the response was due back Friday at 5. And I was actually showing the buyers another property, but they wanted to know obviously what happened with the offer they had in. And the seller, the listing agent hadn't responded by email or anything. So as soon as I got home, I called her on the phone and it turned out she hadn't even seen the offer and apologized. So I did an addendum and extended her response time. And then we actually she accepted it. So got that under contract.
There's a win.
Yep.
Awesome.
I love it. So there's one win. Emily, I know you had a win this weekend. What was it?
Sorry, I was working out. My win this weekend is that my stupid ass millionaire buyers who are cheapskate millionaire buyers finally got under contract and I get to go do an inspection tomorrow that Renee is going to help me out with. So yay. So that's good.
Awesome. I love it. Anna, you're working out. Keep it up. Get them cardio.
Yes, sir. No, it's TRX day, so we're working on abs.
Oof. I work on my abs all the time, usually from the inside. Pushing outward.
Outward.
Expansion workouts.
Didn't you have a goal for the end of the year? Dan?
Yep, I'm on path. I am now 8 days without an energy drink, and you guys know how much I love those.
Yep.
And the great thing is, I still have one right here. It's like that last cigarette you have right here, sitting right there, and it is super frothy cold, like super cold, real nice and cold. But I'm not drinking it because I am now away from the caffeine headaches. I've gotten rid of that weird sleep thing where I wake up in the middle of the night and like can't go back to sleep. So I think in another 2 weeks or so, it'll completely have flushed out of my system. I'm trying to stay away from all caffeine. I did have 2 sips of tea this weekend, so that'll do it. That'll do it right there. Wait on.
There's decaf tea.
So
2 sips is nothing.
I know.
not compared to what I was drinking. If you look at it, I went from a Ferrari to a pedal bike. So it's good. It's way better because I don't have the headaches that would drive me nuts. And I think my hair's starting to grow back. So weird. But if any of you that went to Mega Camp, go back and re-listen to the script off and stuff like that. That was happening. Some really cool things. I'd like to start doing that is having you guys come up with some objections and bringing on, 2-3 of you to come up with your best response to it. Because I think it's going to help you grow and learn in the moment, not just having me tell you what I would say or, other agents. But I want you guys to start putting the things we've talked to in place. So this week, start thinking of the things that you've come across you want a good response to, something that can be a canned, automated response on your end. Like somebody says, you know what, I'm just looking. What's your response?
Great. I would love to help you keep looking. What area are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Are you looking north central or downtown? Where are you? Marana, Vale,
Yeah.
get them to answer.
Just keep asking questions till they hang up on you, and call them back. I'm so sorry. It looks like the call disconnected.
Yeah, mine was. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think my finger hit the disconnected you. I'm so sorry.
All right, Sherry, you got
Was.
a lead that pops in, and you call them, and they just say, you know what, I don't need help. I'm just looking. How do you respond,
Did you say me?
Sherry?
Okay.
Am I Sherry? Are there two Sherrys?
No, that's you.
That's
Ms.
me?
McBrown.
Awesome. What part of town are you looking at?
See, it's always that. Great, awesome, fantastic. That's pretty neat. But it needs to be a canned response, so that you don't have to. The great thing about scripts, and I love this, and I heard this in Mega Camp a couple of times, is scripting allows you not to have to think about what you need to say. It's automated. It's muscle memory. You don't have to tune out of the conversation to think about what you're going to respond with. How many of you have been in a conversation, thought about something, and 30 seconds go by and you have no idea what the other person's talking about?
Yeah.
Be honest. Okay. It's one of those things. It's because our brain sticks on something that they said, and it does not allow us to move forward until we have digested it and having a response. Being scripted is we talk about different scenarios and different situations like we do this morning, different issues that you've come up with, and automated responses or, pre-learned avenues of engagement so that you can move on to it, so you actually stay more engaged in the conversation. I can't tell you, and I hate to out myself like this. I can't tell how many conversations I've had where I get a text or I get an email that buzzes and dings and catches my attention, and I am now completely miles away from the conversation I was currently in. Zoom does that all the time. I love this call in the morning because it reminds me to turn on my do not disturb on my computer so I don't get the dings in my face.
Do you have scripts for listing appointments that we could read and go back and forth and then be able to while we're on the listing appointment to in case they're interviewing other agents?
Great, Sherry, I love the fact you're interviewing other agents. It's a fantastic idea to get all the information out there. Could you do me a favor and let me be last? Most clients are like, why is that? Go ahead and say, why is that?
Why is that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's because typically when I meet with clients, they know that I'm the agent for them, but they need to do some other research to make sure of that. So I'd like you to get that research out of the way so we do meet, you know that you're going with the right guy and we can sign everything right there.
Why didn't I have my camera to record that so I could write that down? That's just brilliant.
It is recorded.
Oh, it is recorded. I'm going back. There's my script.
But that's the thing, is you can pick up those small things all the time. Is, are you looking for other agents? Okay, I get it. You got it. No, that's fantastic. Do you mind if I go last? Well, why is that? It was because in my experience, I've found out that most times that people want to choose me because they know that I'm the best resource for them, but they need to do their job, their due diligence, and talk to others. I'd like you to get that out of the way so that when we meet, you know that I'm the right agent for you and we can get this rock and roll. And usually they'll laugh at that and you can solidify the appointment right then and there, and then they can cut out the rest of them anyways.
And then they just have you go first and last.
Yes, ma'am.
I like it. I love it.
There's an air of confidence that really helps you get a listing. How is what I say, when we sell your house, not when you sell your house.
When we sell your house.
I talk and we's a lot. You see the conversation. If you look at all my conversations with all of my clients, it's a we. When are we going live? We have 5 days to respond. We don't have to do any of the repairs. I want them to know that I'm involved in it, even from the beginning. When we sell your house, it's important for you to have all that research done up front. So let's do it. That was actually, I'm not going to lie, I didn't tell you, that was a script that came out of Mega Camp. I heard it once. That's just how my brain works.
Got a good brain.
But it was good enough. My brain is trained that way. It was good enough that I was like, damn, I like that.
Yeah, it was an excellent script. I wrote that one down too. Mega Camp had lots of gems like that. If you didn't, go to Mega Camp. Make sure to sign up for Family Reunion, however they're going to do it this year.
There's going to be some good stuff. I'm rewatching a lot of the videos and taking in a lot of that information because I think it was impactful, and it was agents like that were so crisp and off the tongue, like, bam. You guys ever seen the movie, the show on Netflix, Lucifer? No, there's a guy on, there's an actor on there, super tall, handsome, dark hair, beard, like looks just like that guy.
I met him.
Yeah, I was like, I'll sell my house to that guy. He just had the swagger about him, and I'm like, I don't care what he's saying, I'm writing it down because it's going to be good. It's going to be gold one day. But yeah, just that's where you learn the scripts from. And we do have the resources up on 1kwsa.com under a resource tab where we have the script book that comes from Ignite and stuff like that. But as for a like dossier of scripts, no, I don't have one. That's definitely something I'd like to put together so we could have a bunch of objection handlers and a bunch of things in there so you can learn and read. But the best thing is to craft them yourself and have conversations based around the technologies that are there in the scripts that we already have from Keller Williams International and each other, and say, okay, this is the situation, how would you handle it? And these different opportunities come up. It's super important to have a scripting partner. Being on this call is going to help. Being in this room is going to help. Being with each other is going to help. Just because you're going to hear and you're going to learn and you're going to take it away. And just like the situation, I heard it and Emily heard it. She wrote it down. I did not. I guarantee she's going to script that with her husband, and they're going to be way more dynamic at it than I am because of that avenue. But it's going to be the element of hearing it, notating it, practicing it. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So how you practice is how you play. So if you're going to practice it, I want you to practice with a partner, real world situations, actually having some objections, having some resistance, having some friction. You know, not every client is a shining bubble of energy. I'm sorry, no rainbows and puppy dogs. Some clients are like me. Some clients are like Tess. They don't want to be on the phone. I actually miss Tess. We need to get her on the calls or reach out to her. But that's the thing, is script with a partner. If you don't have one, let's get you signed up with one. Let's get you put on, face to face with somebody you guys can script a little bit. That's going to be super beneficial for your development because you're going to solidify these in your brain. Like Sherry's typing it down right now and putting it together so she can recall it later, and then change them into your words that fits your style. I don't want you all to come from a very aggressive point, like, I'm the best agent, you're going to hire me, and that's the end of it. No, because that's just not your style. That's not your candor. That's not how you work. Every one of you have your own personality. Every one of you had your own flair. Put it into the scripts. Awesome. Great. Fantastic.
So if you're going on a listing appointment and they call you, do you even ask if they're interviewing other agents, or do you just, because I mean, half of the time they're not, half of the time they are. And I don't always know.
Statistically speaking, they're going to hire 1.7 agents, right? They're going to go on less than 2.
Right.
The odds are in your favor. You'd be the first one. But if you're at the table, you're sitting there. If you're already there and I've already done this script that I did this weekend. And if you're sitting at the table and you're like, well, we got to talk to other agents first. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that you got to talk to other agents. Do you mind if I go last again?
Oh, last again. Love
All
it.
you got to do is add a word.
Last again. Okay, that takes care of that.
And that's all it is. And they chuckled. They signed, but they chuckled. And he's like, you know what, Dan, I appreciate that. I think you are the right fit. I know Keller Williams is a great brand. We're comfortable with you. Fantastic. And then I pulled out the documents. I don't go home and, I know how James and that team does everything digitally, but I didn't go home and sign it. I literally pulled out the documents and said,
right.
Press hard, 4th copy's yours. So that's a joke for carbon paper. Some people got it. We're like, what?
You look too young for that.
I am very young for that, but I have been in sales a long time.
That's funny.
I have sold many things that needed 4 or 5. I've actually sold things that had 8 copies in one carbon pack. So that was a real hard press. Finance. Ooh, that was a fun world.
Well, speaking about carbon, when you say CC somebody, that stands for carbon copy.
Carbon copy. And the BCCC, you know what that means?
Before I was born.
That's before. Blind carbon copy.
Have a quick
Another quick tip from Mega Camp is if you went, you have access to a bunch of people to touch base with for agent referrals. So you can go in and copy their info into a document and touch base, which I did a bunch of calls on Friday. The first 2 out of like 5 people I called said, oh yeah, I might have a referral for you in Tucson. So that was pretty cool.
Make friends, make connections. One thing I really picked up and I really loved it is when you make a connection with somebody, send an email, personalized, hey, this is who I am. This is a picture of my dogs and cat, whatever. This is my service map. This is the areas that I service. And you guys can go into the MLS under the maps tab and MLS SAZ, click on that. It says the area map. Just select that and send it. In an email, that was really informational. I got one of those from an agent in Dallas that sent me a little bio, been in real estate, blah, blah, blah. I've got a kid, I got a cat, I got a dog, my husband's an airman, blah, blah, all these things. It was like, let me know a little bit better. I would love to service any of your clients that are coming to Dallas, and I'd love, to reciprocate the favor in Tucson. Here is my service area. And like, she sent me a map of not just Dallas, but like, Dallas is like Phoenix. There's sub to everything. There's Deep Ellum, South Ellum, Fourth Ellum, all these things. So I was like, that's a really good idea. So.
Yeah, I like that. And I reached out to referral partners and gave them the Tucson relocation package from Title Security with our logo and everything on it. And everybody just loved it. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I would love to share that with anyone thinking about moving to Tucson. So I love the map.
There's awesome. Also some beautiful videos. Have you guys run across, I think it's Brad Holt, who's done drone video of Tucson, and they're gorgeous. And I copied all those URLs so that I can keep sending them to people. And then there's some other ones. What is it? It's there's a food travel one that's done a couple of cool ones of Tucson and our restaurants. So I just thought for people who hadn't been here, it would give them a quick flavor of Tucson. And of course, the videos are just gorgeous. So this one lady wrote back, she's like, "Oh my gosh, Tucson looks amazing!" And so, just trying to get people excited, because if they're going to refer someone to Tucson, I thought they should know a little bit about Tucson. So,
hey, I have a quick question before we go.
Slow answer.
So I have a previous client who bought a spec home. So, brand new home, spec home, almost a couple of years ago. So anybody know how property taxes are assessed on that? Because he's asking me, first of all, like market value on his home right now, only because his property taxes obviously went up. So the first year he bought in 2018, so 2019, obviously the taxes weren't that high. And then he just got his property tax bill and it went up a lot.
Right, imagine, because the first year he's paying just tax on the ground, and now he's paying tax on the improvement.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, so on a new build, the assessors, they're about a year back at least, sometimes even 18 months or 24 months. But on a new build, you're paying tax the first year on the ground because the developer has owned that land for years before they built on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes decades, but they have a record of ownership there. So they pay on the land, and then after the development has been built out or the house has been built out, the improvements become a taxable liability.
Okay, and then, but do they tax, but they don't tax on obviously what you paid for. How do they determine, like, does that make sense? Like, what do they tax on? Like, how do they come up with
the assessed value? I couldn't tell you how they come to the assessed value, and I don't want them to learn what I paid for the house, but it's often lower than we paid for it, and that's good because then we don't have to pay higher taxes. But it's on the assessed value.
I looked on the records and I thought I saw assessed value, perhaps on what they did.
Price definitely has something to do with it. It's not everything to do with it, because anytime you sell a house, the taxes will go up. I mean, if it has more value. So if it sold in, 2 years ago for 200 and it sold this year for 250, the taxes will go up. It's not exactly 1%, but it's a good rule of thumb to say your taxes are going to be around 1% of your purchase price, period.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's about right. All right. Yeah, he was a little stunned when he got his tax bill. So, thank you.
Yeah, most people are like, why the hell did this go up? Because you built the house.
Yep.
Oh. It's like a salad with just lettuce in it, or a salad with all the fixins. What are you going to pay
And
more?
taxes, so it just takes time for everything to catch up.
Right.
Happens with
Wish
pool
it took 2
permits.
years because you could buy a new house, not pay taxes, then sell it. I don't know. My mind's really into the wealth building and focus on stuff. So I talked my mom out of selling her house and renting it and buying another one. So we're going to refinance it, drop her payment $200 a month, rent it out, make $1,000 a month cash flow for her so she can go buy something else. So awesome, my friends. Well, it is Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. If you're doing Ignite, it starts in 26 minutes. If you want to do Ignite again, the link should be at 1kwsa.com. If not, text me and I'll send it to you directly. Other than that, go out there and do something great with yourselves. You're amazing. I love you all. High five.
High five. I'm not doing Ignite, but good luck, Dan. You're the best teacher.
I'm far from the best. There's better on this call. Talk to you soon.